In our next part of the program, we're launching something very, very special. The minister talked about Canta. Canta is a unique system already serving welfare and health services, citizens and pharmacies. Now it's going to have an amazing new part added to it. So all developers out there, this is for you. That sounds great. Good. I wonder, wouldn't it be great if there would be an app that could store your personal health record in a way that it would be available for both you and your doctor as well. Kanta PHR will provide the system, but the question is who would like to build the app? Here to tell us what it's all about is Consulting Officer Teemupekka Virtanen from the Ministry of Social Affairs and Health. Here you go.
Thank you. Ministry of Social Affairs and Health is well known in its innovativity, at least when it comes to social and welfare reforms. But actually we have already built 10 years a unique solution. At least 10 years ago, it was nothing similar in the world. We were the first. And during these 10 years, we have now built these Canta services like they are now. They connect all the healthcare service providers, all the healthcare professionals, and also all the citizens to use this same system. But now it's time to take the next step. So we are now, in addition to this Canta, we are opening the Kanta PHR, that is this Oma Canta or Oma Tietovaranto, as the minister mentioned this far. So in this place, people can store their own information related to well-being, and they can manage this information also. This information can be connected to wellness apps, and apps can store information there, they can retrieve information there, and this information can then be sent to the professionals in social care, health care, to be used in treatments or services. And also the information that is provided by these official providers can also be shared by these apps and used in there. We already built some services, public services that are based of this Kanta PHR, and they are presented here later more. But actually, that's not enough. We need more. So we want you. We want you to build new kind of apps to make this ecosystem still more better. And what we are offering to you, we offer you very well-known internet brand, one of the most famous internet brands in Finland. And we offer you a very big existing customer base. As said, all the professionals, all the citizens are used this. There are already million logins in a day and very large number of data. Actually, more than billion records stored in this system. And now we try to find a new way how to improve this system to provide better life for people using all this information in the new way. We also use international standards. So apps working here can be used anywhere. And it's also possible to use this place as a demonstrate what you can do and get a good reputation. Show that you can really improve people's health using something. Also, this PHR is built using the same high-level standard as Canta itself, so it means that it is reliable. You can trust that this system works, as it works for the hospitals and professionals. It has also support already. And one more point, this is free. Why you should spend money to build some of your own storage if you are not a storage specialist? Why not leave this part to this already reliable service we have? So, what we want this is what we offer, what we want from you. Join this ecosystem, create new apps, improve people's wellness in this way. It can be something, wearable devices that gathers information, or it can be something that takes information from this PHR and analyzes it in a new way. It can be some apps to put all this information together, show it in a new way, and maybe send it to the professionals. Actually, we don't know what you should do. We ask for you to provide something good, something innovative we still not know. And these apps can use information from both this personal side and this professional side. So we are also announcing a funding competition to encourage you to make these new apps. You can find more information about that later. So join us. Thank you.
Thank you, Teemupekka. Next we will hear some concrete examples. Please welcome Aki Puustjärvi from Terveyskylä. Here you go.
Okay, thank you. Thank you, everybody. So, do I have slides?
Probably yes.
So, okay. So, next slide, please. So, okay, I'm representing Virtual Hospital Initiative that is basically funded by Teemupekka and his pals. And this started initially in HUS, where I work, but today we have all the university hospital districts together with us working for the same goal. So we are actually covering something like over 75% or something of the Finnish population regarding specialized care. So basically this is big. So these are the services on a very high level. So, but what we are providing, general services available for citizens, basically information platform for specialized care issues. And on the second level, which is basically where I think that there would be the most interesting part for you guys, is the digital services as part of the patient's treatment path. So that's where we are kind of inviting people to bring new ideas, new innovations, and using the data that has been talked about here. Then we have the third level, which is for professionals. So basically this is an information data store, but it is also a communication platform between professionals, from professional to professional. So there's also something that you could think of enhancing over there. Next, please. So I think that this is basically the part that we are here for. So what are we doing in the Finnish PHR? So the first thing is that why should you be interested? So I already mentioned that we are catering together in this group for something like over 4 million people. So they could be your customers. And already this platform has been proven. So we have this mental health services, which we already have thousands of patients monthly. And I think that we have something like 150,000 page visits monthly. But moreover, we are now in the phase where we are opening more and more digital healthcare paths. And we already have started a couple of new ones. But by the end of this year, next year, we will be having something like over 50 paths. And all this data, this healthcare data, and especially the data that we are loading into PHR will be available to use in these healthcare paths. So what we are doing, so we are starting up right now, and we will be aggregating data, wellness data, from different devices using probably aggregation services ourselves, so that it is there for you guys. So what we did earlier on, we created an activity profile, and now we're kind of testing it out. So basically the first profiles that we will be having there will include steps, pulse, weight, blood pressure, and sleep. And these are things that are related to wellness, but they really could have a big use in patient care as well. So this is the thing that we kind of invite you to do. So innovate things where you can use this activity data, for example. We will be adding more and more things as we go forward. So this is the platform that we are providing you, and then basically we do some of the things as well, but I kind of think that my time is already up.
Yeah, that's true. Thank you, Aki. Great speech. Next we have Jaakko Korhonen from ODA. Please welcome Jaakko Korhonen, ODA.
Thanks, Baba. Yeah. So I'm Jaakko Korhonen from ODA Program Office, and I'm actually here for the first time, happy to represent our service name. The code ODA project still remains as name of the program office, but this is the name of the actual services that we then produce. So we have about 40 care paths or treatment paths that are being piloted in this project, and most of our material, the part that is open, you can find from GitHub/omahoito. So what do the services do? There's well-being, forms, basically, different kind of user interfaces to display data, capability to have a plan in between the practitioner and the citizen, and then you can also do self-care. So without a practitioner, you can start monitoring your own health and well-being. So ODA works as a distribution layer to all the national health services for, as we hope in the future, for healthcare, all healthcare centers. Right now, we have 2.1 million people in the footprint, but we hope for that to grow in the future. So the idea is that the data that the citizen has and the data that the professional or practitioner has is being shared on this layer of digital participation and also communication. So basically, the practitioner and the citizens share the same table, the same data, so they both are well informed of the service. So, of course, how to get people to use these services, a big challenge. We can force them that you don't get treatment if you don't log in, but to actually have people do self-care, we need customer-oriented user design, so user experience design to shift the paradigm to user-oriented healthcare services. Thanks. So, how does it happen? How do you do 40 pilots with a user-oriented design? We have each care path or treatment path has its own functionalities, and they follow the same microservices architecture, which is mostly reusable also for startups. So if you want to be the one who builds the 41st, that's possible. We even have some in this room who have already done that. So, for example, you can use the national logins, you can use the services that ODA is already using for decision making, and you can store your data in Oma Kanta, which was here shown previously. And when you have 40 or 140 of them, they start looking like this, that there's an ecosystem of small services, different parties take care of different parts, and then we have the national master data that we plug into as much as possible. So actually, it could be very quick for a startup to build their own component. So I'll be there in Oma Olo stand answering your questions. And there's also people who have already used these services to build their startup, so I can hook you up with them to share experience as well.
Thank you, Jaakko. Wonderful. And please stay here, because we are going to have questions from the audience. It's now your turn. Ask the experts. You can inquire about the possibilities, challenges, and technical issues. So please welcome back up on the stage Teemupekka, Aki, and Jaakko. And you can please step a little bit further on like this. And then I want to remind you that we have a message wall here in the front on your right-hand side. Your tweets will be shown there, but you can also send an SMS message and ask the experts if you want. The number is 12154. I repeat the number, 12154. And remember to begin your message with Slush. SODESLUSH. But before we start, we will add 2 more experts to the group to answer your questions. Please welcome Jari Porrasmaa from the Ministry of Social Affairs and Health and Konstantin Hyppönen from the National Social Security Institution, Kela. And can you please step a little bit further on so all the experts have enough space on the stage. But now, let's go over to the audience. Who would like to go first? Anyone? Just raise your hand. You get your microphone. Over there we have one. Can you please give a microphone to... Oh, do we have only one microphone? Okay.
Hi.
So please, can you also present yourself? Who are you and where are you from?
Yeah. I'm Karita. I'm the CEO of a startup called Huoleti. So we have had some discussions with HUS and with Virtuaalisairaala, but it doesn't seem to be clear how we as a startup can provide a solution or application to Virtuaalisairaala. So is there a way or a process?
Okay, that's a good question. Thank you. So basically, we are also back there on our stand, and there is our guy, Sami Laakkonen, who is basically responsible for the innovation program. So basically, that would be the place to start. So basically, contact Sami first, and then we will guide forward from there. Yeah.
Thank you so much.
Thank you. Sami Laakkonen. Sami.
Please, Katarina. Katarina, can you take the microphone and walk over to everybody who needs it? Thank you. So, any more questions, please? Do you want to ask anything? When you are thinking about figuring out what you would like to know, I have a few questions about Canta. What does it cost to join or use Kanta PHR? Does a startup have to pay for it?
Actually, I already mentioned it in my presentation. It's free. There is no cost, or I don't say there is no cost. Of course, you have to build your system to be able to join us, Canta, but there is no cost storing information there or using it afterwards.
So remember, it's free. How can I earn by making an app compatible with Kanta PHR?
At least I can answer this. So basically, as I think that Visa, our chief innovation, okay, guy, so he mentioned it already. So basically, we are open to all kinds of business models. But what I suggest is that you kind of think of how to kind of get the users to be so interested that they're willing to pay for your services. So I think that the earning models most of the time would be creating such compelling services that the people are willing to pay for it. But in some certain circumstances, we can also make an agreement that, okay, we will pay for you based on the number of patients using it. But that is something that needs to be decided later.
Sounds great. I think we have one question from the message wall. Please.
Yes, there's one question from the message board. The question is, many healthcare professionals tend to be on the defense when it comes to trying new ideas. How do we turn this conservatism? So maybe this is a question maybe Visa can answer, or Oda and Virtual Hospital. How do the doctors feel about the new apps?
And please, may I have your attention? Just listen what they are answering.
Yes.
Thank you.
That's a really interesting question. And in the project, we had the same problem because as a startup, you want to be user-oriented. You want to be customer-oriented. So how to build this? So we actually used lean startup methods in the project. So we started with almost 50 care paths that were designed through lean startup, and we created pull from the field, and then slowly we started having less. Now there's about 40 left that are like more valid, and then we're building them forward like we would do a startup. So with user-oriented design, we can make sure that there is value in that care path. And through this, you also find a business model when you have a functioning care path. So it's not really, doesn't really differ from normal startup, but you have to have a methodology that you are implementing. Otherwise, there will be too many interests.
I will say one word before I give it to Visa. So it's like, you know, what we have in Virtual Hospital, we already have like over 1,000 professionals kind of creating these things for us. So there's basically, we have evidence that there is traction. It's not so hard.
Yeah, I don't think it's about the defense. Once you get the doctor or physician feeling that this might really help the patients, nobody can hold them. They are in fire after that.
I'll also say a few words about that, because I think it's a cultural change. And we have seen some cultural changes already. So we've seen before that doctors didn't like people to see their data in Oma Kanta. Now most of the doctors, they understand this, and most of the healthcare professionals, they see a lot of help in that.
So do we have more questions on the message wall? No, any questions from the audience? Just raise your hand and stand up. No questions. So, we have one. Yeah, here we go.
Hi, I'm Markus Kalle from Sitra. I would like to ask you, what do you think is the role of this government-based Sotedigi company when it relates to Kela PHR or then ODA or these new initiatives? Because if I'm a startup and I want to create some solution, I would like to know that the government is not creating something similar at the same time, and they are creating this integration platform. So what is the role of that in the future compared to what we have today?
I would say that if there really is a startup companies that think that they can't...
Please, can you...
Yeah, if there is a startup companies here who think that you can't compete with this kind of old-fashioned governmental project, then maybe I'm in the wrong place.
Thank you.
I could also add that, for example, the stuff that we've been building in ODA will be kind of like part of the basis in Sotedigi. So as a startup in healthcare, there's quite high barrier that you have to reach compliance. So it makes sense for the government to provide a certain basic services that can be used in healthcare services. So you can reach compliance quicker, because the challenge when you're doing a startup is, when can I start shipping to my users? So Sotedigi will help you with that, so you can actually get started with your startup.
That sounds great, but who should startups contact if they want to move forward with this?
That's a difficult question, because actually we are just waiting for the information who is going to be the CEO of this Sotedigi company. There is nobody there yet to call. But actually I think currently, at least for me, call me.
Yeah, call Teemupekka. Thank you a lot for a very great discussion. I think we don't have any questions anymore. Oh, we have one, please. Janne.
Jonne, but that was really close.
Well, I almost see.
I would actually like to rephrase my question from before, where I asked about like healthcare doctors and usually healthcare professionals being really conservative about technology in general. Where I'm coming, so I'm representing IFMSA, which is the International Federation of Medical Students, so we represent 1.3 million medical students. So I kind of know where we are when it comes to medical students and innovation. So what I'm asking you is basically, as also was pointed out in the last question, so how can we actually create the bridges from healthcare professionals to the normal technology people and the ones who usually work in startups? Because I think in many cases, we talk about healthcare innovation, but there's not really discussion between healthcare professionals, and then we end up having a Terranos. So,
who wants to answer?
Well, I'm not running a startup, so I can't kind of like give you a recipe for that. But what we have seen, and that those teams that have built something that works and is shippable are multidisciplinary teams. So you need to have both experienced people and enthusiastic people, young people, old people, but also clinical people and technical people, architects and coders. So you have to build a good and rather a small team to be able to communicate inside the team and start understanding each other's profession.
And also I think that the Finnish hospitals that are providing the test beds are very good because there the startups work together with the doctors and also with the patients. So that's the best path.
And you should understand who is your customer, because we have this professional side, we have this personal side, and there are totally different rules how to proceed in these areas. So you should actually, first of all, make yourself clear who is your customer. Is it healthcare system, healthcare professionals, or is it citizens and wellness people?
Thank you, Teemupekka. And thank you all for a very informative discussion. I hope you a very good day. Further on, thank you, and thank you for the questions.